This video is not just a rant about how dumb Elon Musk is, there'll be a lot of that. This is not just about how dumb the change over to the new platform X from Twitter is. That you say it phonetically, you don't actually say X because it's supposed to sound like something crashing, like X. Very important that you get it right. Thanks to Whokeys for sponsoring this video. You can get 25% off Windows and Office with coupon code TS25. So they've got Windows 10 Pro, they've got Home, you've got Windows 11, Office 2021, 2019, and 2016 because it still works very well. Putting in coupon code TS25, click apply, and then watch these prices come down. Wonderful. Once you're finished, all you have to do is click on your user account up here, go to your user center, click on My Purchase Orders, just view keys and codes. Then you can just copy and paste your key, hit start, type activate, click on activation settings, paste it in there, click on next, and you will be activated. You know, I never liked how Microsoft has different prices for different people. If you're a home user, you're going to pay 10 times more than an OEM builder or a corporation or something like that. And that's why I like heading to places like Whokeys.com to get the OEM keys so I can pay a price that makes sense. So thanks to them for sponsoring, and now to our regularly scheduled program. The real purpose of this video is to try to convince you that the corporate social media and the billionaires that are behind it are not our saviors. They're not the ones who assign legitimacy to projects. And that's really important. We'll get back to that in just a second. But first, let's have some fun making fun of Elon Musk because it's so damn easy. And at some point, I almost feel like I shouldn't be doing this because I'm making fun of somebody that's obviously something's wrong with him. Something's wrong in his head. He's obsessed with X. And it's like I'm laughing at someone who has a disability and it feels wrong. But that's not going to stop me because this is a giant jackass, and he's a billionaire, and he deserves everything and then some. Maybe the French Revolution style. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this whole X nonsense for just a minute. So Elon Musk has had this thing in his head about X for years and years and years and years. This goes back to when he was a part of PayPal. He did not create PayPal. He did not invent PayPal. He was a member of PayPal from, I forget how it was, investment something. I don't know. He got involved in PayPal, and they didn't use any of his code because he wasn't a very good coder, but he wanted to change the name of the company to X, and he kept pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing until he drove everyone crazy. And while he was off in Hawaii on his honeymoon, they kicked him out of the company, and he immediately stopped his honeymoon and flew back to yell and scream and argue and all that. But he really wanted to change that name to X, and they were like, what are you crazy? You think people are going to use X as a way to transfer their money? PayPal, it's a great name. It's easy. X is generic and also sounds like a cheap porn site. Okay, you stupid Kmart tier edgelord, that's not what we're going to do. I just want to talk for a minute about how dumb this X thing is because it's comically stupid. Now, not only did they not do their homework when it comes to changing the sign from Twitter to X on the outside of the building. I apologize if I pronounce it X. I just keep forgetting that it's actually pronounced X. Anyway, they didn't get the permits for putting this on the outside of the building. And so the cops showed up and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You can't be doing that. You don't got a permit. Okay, the next layer of all this nonsense, Twitter had become a household name, and it had also become an accepted term that's been used as a verb on television and TV shows, media, in social just circles and communities, and on the news. People say, the president tweeted today. Like grown men wearing a tie with their freaking news face would say, the president today tweeted that his penis, whatever they say. I don't know what they tweet, these idiots. But yeah, that's how it works. That value is gone. Now, do you want people to walk around being like, the president today stated that that's not going to happen. Like, nobody wants this. It's the town square, is it? Oh yeah, did you ask everybody in the town square if it'd be cool if you change the name and then shat everywhere? Because that's what's happening. So yeah, I'm going to list some articles here if you really, really, really want to go through and just see how bad Twitter has become. But I think we all know it's been really, really bad. There's so much garbage. So then when they first got X.com, it was just linking people to GoDaddy. Okay, that's one thing, is how incompetent do you have to be to have this ginormous website and it's linking people to a GoDaddy under construction page or whatever it is, or this page is hosted on GoDaddy. And then this is GoDaddy. They used GoDaddy to register this. Before they switched over to X with that, I believe it's that old Unicode font logo that's very similar to a lot of other logos. Did nobody stop him? Is there no one there who can stop this idiot? He just probably do it now. And they're like, did nobody say like, hey, there are 900 companies? Did they not do a search? This is from a trademark attorney, Josh Gerber. He says there's a 100% chance that Twitter is going to get sued over this by somebody because he counted, there are 900 U.S. trademark registrations, active registrations for X. There's 2 that are really big that we should talk about. Microsoft is one of them for communications for their Xbox platform because Microsoft Xbox. The other one is Meta, Facebook. They own a trademark for X for their products or whatever, for social networking. It's for the fields including software and social media. I would be shocked if Facebook does not sue Elon Musk and his stupid company. Did nobody look at this and say like, oh, by the way, there's already a company bigger than us that owns a trademark on X? Did nobody say that to him? I mean, it was already funny enough after they did the changeover, but they couldn't use the X as their username because somebody already had that. It looks like they've been able to get rid of that person. They also had to get rid of X videos, so their Twitter account was just wiped. I mean, I kind of feel bad for them. I know it's a porn site or whatever, but it's just like, did they do anything wrong? Did they break any rules other than like Elon Musk woke up one morning and was like, and just got rid of them and then took over the person who, I'm not sure if he took it over or did this person get paid or what? Like, as of yesterday, this was somebody else. AboutX.com. God, do I want to... Oh, look at this grunge texture. Oh, look at it. Oh, everything's so cringe. One more tweet and then it's bedtime. I thought they were calling them Zeets. That was a post that went around. They haven't figured out what they're going to call them yet. I think the post was serious and then they kind of like took it back. But yeah, they're called Zeets. And this is a perfect opportunity like for Elon Musk because we know how he is. He's a 12-year-old. He could have just called it Zgeets. So then you can be like, yeah, I'm going to go online and skeet all night. But come on, Elon. Where's your stupid 12-year-old brain when you need it? The other really funny thing about all this is that it's going to break tons of functionality around the web, mainly because a lot of different services have Twitter plugins. Now, this should be able to just seamlessly transfer over, maybe. I don't trust these devs really, but it hopefully maybe for them, I don't care what happens, but hopefully for them maybe it does. Maybe the developers will have a nicer day. But if you log on to like your smart TV or your PlayStation or your Xbox or whatever, and you have a Twitter app that allows you to sign in with Twitter, that's all going to have to be changed. There's so many little things that this is going to break. And then when we think about like, what is this going to do to search engines now that you've changed from Twitter to X.com? Well, Twitter was an actual thing. It's a unique name, and it had extreme brand value because it's when you search for something on Twitter, you're searching for Twitter. You're not searching for X. Like, what are you going to type in X, and then what are you going to get back? Like, oh God. Because you just imagine the nonsense. It's going to make it so difficult to search for anything on x.com. It's this level of stupidity. This is going to have to be the thumbnail. It's been a long time, but we're bringing it back. Maybe a double face palm. It's so bad. All right, I think we've got the thumbnail now. Now let me just segue into the next thing. The next video is going to be about threads, so you stay tuned for that, or I'll come and grab you by the pubes and jump off the balcony while I'm holding on to them. That's what I'll do if you don't watch the next video. So it's very important you watch these things because all this stuff I'm talking about is just a bit of fun here. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video is that I'm kind of sick of when I talk to people about social media, they're always waiting for the next billionaire to show up and save them. They're like, oh, I've got to get on Blue Sky, or I've got to get on Threads, or I've got to get on something. I've got to escape the burning embers of Twitter or x.com or whatever the hell it is. I've got to escape this and go to whatever the next billionaire is. And it's like they only assign legitimacy to things that are created by billionaires or giant corporations. And it's weird that we've come to this way of thinking because back when the internet started, back in my day, forums, that was the real genuine content. And you were like looking at anything else like advertisements and corporate stuff is like, that's not cool. That's not decent. The decent stuff were the forums where real human beings where, they were hanging out. You could talk to them. But now whenever I mention the Fediverse or anything that's created by real human beings that's not based upon an algorithm run by a psychopathic billionaire, they roll their eyes because it's not legitimate to them. Because it wasn't created by the assigner of legitimance, and that's a billionaire. Is that legitimance? Legitimance. Does it have legitimance? But seriously, I'm kind of sick of people rolling their eyes at like, oh, you're one of those like Fediverse nerds, or you're one of those people who uses forums. Ugh. And it's like they immediately just discredit it and hand wave it. It's annoying and obnoxious because people are trained that all things must come from billionaires. And that's really perverse and backwards and stupid. And I'm kind of freaking sick of it. So, yeah, sure, you can go and join all these other things. And listen, I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite because I'm going to join the other stuff too because I have stuff that I need to get out there, like marketing reasons. Like I want to tell people about whatever games I make, so I need to be where the people are. And I hate the fact that it's difficult to critique this society because I also have to live and exist in this society. But you can do both things. You can always critique the things that you participate in. And it's very important that we make sure that we can allow that to happen because that's how changes happen. You have to be allowed to critique everything, even the stuff you're participating in. Anyway, I'll just for a minute rant about how much I like the thing we have set up. And this is not an invitation to join. We don't need anybody else joining easy mode unless you're really cool and you're willing to follow these rules. But easy mode, easymode.im is Firefish, a brand new thing. It's Firefish. It's so much better than Mastodon. Like I need to make a video talking about how much better this is, but it's just a great platform. And I really like everybody who's on this platform. We're having fun on here. It's so much fun on this platform. One of the things I've noticed about this is that the people on here actually have conversations and they disagree with you, but in terms that are, they don't just jump down your throat immediately. I feel like a lot of people who are on corporate social media, they do this thing where they go online and they rage browse because they're constantly getting fed rage and they find people that they don't even know and they start correcting them with actually. And it's like, what kind of a way is that to spend your time? To go online and just find people you've never met before. And I've done it too. You go on there and you're like, oh my God, this person is so stupid. Because the algorithm knows that, when I see this, I'm going to be like, oh, I can't believe this mother. I swear to God. And I'm just going to go at them. And that's what people do. They just like, everyone's at everybody's throat. It's dumb. I don't see that on this website. If someone corrected me the other day, or they didn't correct me, they disagree with me, but they were just like, they started off by saying like, I'm sorry if this is not what you meant, or apologies if this is not what you meant, but I believe that it's actually this way. And they mentioned a few things, but it was so nice. And we talked back and forth and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I missed that thing. And we joked around a bit and it's just like, feels more like you're just hanging out with your friends talking. Even though I don't know these people, it feels, I know some of them, and I'm getting to know people on here. But it's just a much more cool, this is people I follow. You can follow anybody on Mastodon or anywhere else on the Fediverse. So it's cool. And you get your notifications, and I'm not going to do a full-on thing for it, but yeah, this is mostly for people who are into games. That's the other thing about those smaller platforms is you can have more niche platforms, and we don't have to have a monoculture anymore. Like we don't have to have just one thing pushing all content. All content does not need to be siloed or funneled, I guess is the word, through some corporation. Anyway, that's enough of this stuff. Let me show you what's on sale right now on Epic Pants. Oh, I put the keyboards on sale, but we got some cool t-shirts on there for sale on deep discounts. This one, $32.99 for this keyboard right here. Look at this. Oh, Jesus! Let me just make some noise with it. Membrane, but it's a very poppy membrane. I wish I could trademark that it's a generic Topra, but it's not quite, but it does have a nice feel to it. Especially compared to all the other membranes. I went to Hong Kong and tested this out. It's made by a company from Korea, and I really like it. I use it on my keyboards. It's water resistant, so if you spill your coffee, your tea, milk, whatever on it, it'll be fine. Or your water, whatever you drink. Just don't spill soda on it. It's going to get all sticky. Anyway, the reason I like it is because it's really quiet, and it feels, in my opinion, better than red switches, but that's just my opinion. If you love red switches, then you might like red switches better. I think it feels almost as good as brown switches, at a fraction of the cost. Anyway, that's enough selling this thing because I don't like carrying them to the post office, but I will for you. I'll pack up 20 of these things and lug them to the post office. So yeah, whenever we do a sale, I'm always like, maybe I'll go get my car because I walk to the post office. I'm rambling. Everybody, get one of these. Do it. All right, I'll see you in the next video about threads. We're going to do this whole thing again. His next one's even worse, just so you know.